Namaste, good morning, Sitaram. Welcome to Mandir again, and we'll be praying this morning, we'll be meditating, we'll be contemplating, and how beautiful the sun has come out. And I like the scenery, reflecting on the water and peeping through the trees. And next to that beautiful fountain, Lord Shiva Lingam. So let us pay adoration to the sun. Om Bhara Bhava Swaha Tat Savitura Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhara Bhava Swaha Tat Savitura Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Adorations to Surya Narayan, the giver of life, the main planet of our system that sustains all the 9 planets in our galaxy that surrounds them, including Mother Earth. He keeps them in orbit, and from his blazing light, fire, that what sustains us, keep us warm. Imagine where there's no sun on earth, and there's winter and cold, and the North Pole, how cold it is because the sun is not there. So how beautiful that we are that we have the sun in our presence. Well, this morning let us pay adoration to our deities, our 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And these elements are in us. Let us adore them, this body of ours, because it's the greatest murti, and in it is the consciousness that keeps us alive. Well, this morning I like to talk about an institution, an ashram, and for me, BHARAT SEVASHRAM. This is my strength. This is Swami Parameshananda's manifestation of incarnation. He has reached out and taken me out of mundane life. Never could have been done. And here am I serving in all capacities. And Swami Parameshananda would have said that me, my ashram, and my spiritual power are the same. They're inseparable. Adoring one is adoring all the other 2. And showing disdain for one is showing disdain for the other 2 also. So we have to be very careful. Shanga, Shanga, Shakti, and Shanga Lord. These are the Sanskrit words for that. And what is the Shanga? Is the ashram, the buildings, the Swamijis, the devotees, the volunteers, and everyone who is associated with our ashram. That's the Shanga. And Shanga Shakti, the power that Swami Parameshananda would have said, when he left his body, he says, I'll guide my Shanga, BHARAT SEVASHRAM Shang, from behind the curtain. Meaning that he just give up the body, but he's all pervading. He's all over the universe. He is that consciousness, that omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, all-powerful, all-pervading, and all-knowing, knowing the past, present, and future. And he has goaded us to get to that state. Why he created the Shanga, so we also could lift ourselves to that place where we become godlike. And this Shanga, that, I'll go and deal with Panditjis and go to temples, and this is like doing seva and spreading this high teaching of the BHARAT SEVASHRAM Shang and this Shanga Lord. Anyway, Panditji was saying one day, Pandit Yoganand, he's a very good, learned Pandit, Sanskrit, and very, very humble and respectable man in the community. And we were talking, he says, Swamiji, I had Swamijis come to my house on a temporary basis, and I showed them so much regard. And never I would ever think of say anything bad about a Swamiji. Because when you say bad of one Swamiji, you say bad for the whole of the order, the robe, the orange robe. And we don't want to do that. That to be a Swamiji, I understand, so much of us householders and other people can't become Swamijis. The Swamijis are selected people. Some stays and some don't manage and they leave, but that's all right. Anyway, he was so profound about it. And also Buddhanand Swamiji, this is one thing he taught me, that one time, one gentleman was trying to tell me, a very good devotee of the ashram in Ghatshila, and I listened to this gentleman. He was talking a little bad things about one of our Swamiji, whether true or not. But what it did, it corrupted my mind. And just about then I had to give a lecture. And Swamiji would have recognized that something got into my mind and weakened me. Just by listening and not walking away quickly enough or stopping the gentleman to say ill things about the Swamiji. So we, the monks of Bharat Sevashram Sheng, I understand that. And never would I speak ill of another Swamiji of the Sangha or any other organizations. Because in our Hindu tradition, Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, and the other ashrams like the Swami Narayan temples and so on, they're led by these great saints. Swami Narayan temple, they're so powerful. And then Sikhism, Guru Nanak. So we have to maintain that respect and regard for this kind of institution. And also Jainism, Mahavir Swami, he's the leader. So we have to maintain that, and this will give us the strength. Who are we to criticize another person? Because all of us are on our path to our moksha, our perfection. So when we criticize someone, we are tainting our own evolution process. So never at any point in time we should try to do that. We should be like, stay calm and peaceful, because for an organization like Bharat Sevashram Sheng, Swami Parameshananda ji, he's always looking out for his monks, his disciples. And he would have said, don't worry if you make mistakes, just stay calm and stay on the path, and I will remove you from that state of weakness. Because weakness, he said, would have been the greatest sin. What are real sins? Weakness, fear, cowardice, meanness, and selfishness. And imagine, those are powerful things. And imagine when he got God realization in 1917, he gave the 10 divine messages. What is the goal of life? Self-realization, universal emancipation. What is religion? Self-sacrifice, self-abnegation, self-discipline, adherence to truth, and countenance. What is real death? Forgetfulness of the self. What are real life? Self-contemplation, self-possession, self-remembrance. What are real enemies? Indolence, slumber, inertia, procrastination, lustful senses and passions. What are real friends? Energy, enthusiasm, and perseverance. What are real assets? Self-confidence, self-reliance, and self-respect. What are real sins? Weakness, fear, cowardice, meanness, and selfishness. Imagine, this is what God would have said if me and you were to get realization. This is what we might want to say also. So it's important that we listen to the teachings of these great souls, that, when you're in the guidance of these spiritual masters. Look at the Christ. I like to talk because I grew up in Catholic in school in Guyana in the British system, and I studied the Bible, and I have reverence for the Christ as he was. Of course, changes have been made to the scriptures by man, and they give the taintedness and we have that weakness comes about from reading that. But if you want to know the Christ, you have to meditate on the Christ. Look at the Buddha, how he became the Buddha, through meditation, austerity. So in Buddhism, he's so powerful. And so in Hinduism too, like BHARAT, SEVASHRAM, and other religious institutions, and even temples, the ritualistic side of Hinduism, buildings are being made. And these buildings become the body of God. So Swami Parameshananda was said, my bigger body, the ashrams, the buildings are my bigger body. So when we go into an ashram, we go into the body of Swami Parameshananda. Like Krishna Bhagavan would have said, that Arjuna, all of creation is my womb. So we're living in the body of Krishna, imagine that? And the sad thing about it, which I like to close with, that imagine that we are gods and goddesses already. Because we have the 5 elements, creation, we have the mind, that is coming from the 5 senses, bringing the sense objects into our mind. So it's coming from sense objects. So to say for sun is the light. The eyes are receiving the light, is processing it through the eyes and sending it to the brain, and the brain will say, oh, this is sun, and we will worship the sun. That's the sequence. And so with all the 5 elements. So it is so necessary that we rediscover that we are that consciousness. And it is so important that we don't delay. Let us look at what we have, this Monday without walls and ceiling. Let us learn from this. There's time, we don't have time for this, to go and do other mundane things. Yes, we have to sustain our lives, but then let us move towards, faster and faster towards our liberation. Adoration to Guru. Om. Guru Mata Pita, Guru Bandhu Sakha, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Guru Mata Pita, Guru Bandhu Sakha, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Tumi Jnana Datta, Tumi Shakti Datta, Tumi Shanti Datta, Tumi Mukti Datta, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Tumi Sadhana, Tumi Aradhana, Tumi Premarana, Tumi Karuna, Tumi Pranapati, Tumi Raksha Mera, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Guru Mata Pita, Guru Bandhu Sakha, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Tumi Vedata, Tumi Param Pita, Tumi Raj Dhiraj Guru Maharaj, Tumi Raj Dhiraj Guru Maharaj. Guru Mata Pita, Guru Bandhu Sakha, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Adorations to Swami Parameshananda Ji and all the great gurus, because I sing to them. This one song is for all of them. And this morning I see the one geese that was left behind. I think the mother and the father, they have flown away, and for some reason he's left behind. There he is, the big one. And but he's making adjustment. Yesterday he was very frantic, missing his parents, lonely, sad. But today, look at that, he make adjustment. And he's going to live his life here until they come back, if they do. But look at that. So also, let us learn that we also have to make adjustments, that when we have to be left alone, and when we left alone, we have to make the adjustment, like that geese there, you see him grooming himself, because we have to go to God individually. And when we go there individually, then collectively we can bring others. The lotus feet of Acharya Dev, Swami Parameshananda, and to the Christ and the Buddha and all the great gurus, we pay adorations. How beautiful this morning is. And let us look and do meditation. Take the time to do meditation. Sun, water, air, all the elements are side by side in the scenery here. Okay? Art is supporting, and there's the sun next to the Shiva Lingam as water. Meditate. Close your eyes and think how powerful you are. Rediscover that you are that consciousness. You are the God that you pray to. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Have a beautiful day.